Over here at Dagmars, they've actually got Snohomish Marine operates. Now they're totally different than Dagmars. They just happen to operate within Dagmars, but it makes it convenient if you want to have them work on your boat. And your boat doesn't have to be at Dagmars for Snohomish Marine to work on it. And actually, they don't usually go to your boat to work. They'll have your boat on the forklift taken over to Snohomish Marine for them to work on it. So we're gonna go walk across the street, take a look at the freeway side. We used to always joke and say the freeway side of Dagmars where boats go to die. It's just a lot of chalk white, oxidized boats. But generally speaking, if they try and put the boats that are used a lot closer to the boat ramp, it's just a shorter run for the forklift staff to go, but also depends on availability of space. So Dagmars actually has a dedicated wash down for going the bottom of your boat, like if you're going to bottom paint your boat. Now if you're keeping your boat at Dagmars, bottom paint's pretty much optional because you're not in the water most of the time, but you can go over to the office, tell the forklift come pick your boat up, and they will bring you
I don't have a gear in there
here,
anymore.
and the forklift will drive you in. They'll set you somewhere up in here. There's the pressure wash thing, on off switch for it, and then right up in here you'll go ahead and pressure wash the bottom of your boat. They'll just leave you hanging on the forks. The forklift driver will go to lunch, coffee break, whatever. The water is recycled, meaning the stuff that goes down the drain comes back out the pressure washer. They're putting filters and stuff in there to make it not as nasty, and that's because when you're pressure washing the bottom of the boat, you've got all the anti-fouling paint that's going to fall off, and that's all environmentally whatever, it has to be treated. Nice feature up here to have, be able to clean the bottom of your boat once a year.
Neighbor's boat.
That's my neighbor's boat right there. LaZina actually did these letters as well. So you can do vinyl decals and stuff like that. ChannelSurfingCreations.com. So Dagmars doesn't have an official fuel dock, but for us tenants over here at Dagmars, they do have unleaded gas. And they have an unleaded gas truck. So they fill up boats Monday through Friday, first thing in the morning. So you want to call Sunday through Thursday to get your order in for the next day. And they'll come around and fill your boat up with gas. They keep the price of gas posted at the office, and it changes pretty, as fast as they cycle through the tank. They'll keep it updated. Most of the time it's pretty comparable to like what Port of Everett, which is the closest fuel dock, would be. Sometimes a little more expensive, sometimes a little bit less, but there is a convenience fee to it, and that you don't have to be at your boat. You just pick up the phone and call and say, hey office, fill my boat up, I'm going out this weekend. And they'll bring by the fuel truck the next morning, and they'll fill the tank up and add it to your bill, and you'll pay it later at the office. And that way you leave with a full tank of gas. Pretty convenient. They don't do it for diesel, only for gas. And we don't talk much about this, but they also store RVs over here at Dagmars too. And this is what we mean by the highway side. That's I-5 right there. Anybody know how many boats are stored at Dagmars? Leave that in the comment section if you know. I'm guessing it's over 1,000. So it's been almost a year now since the new owners took over at Dagmars, and they've been putting some money into it to improve Dagmars quite a bit. The security is important to us boaters, because everybody knows something that got stolen from somebody on a boat in the Puget Sound and San Juan areas. They've more than doubled the security cameras throughout it. They're tracking all the cars that come and go in and out of the place. You've got to be a member technically to be here, as the signs and stuff illustrate. But at night they close the gates. So right here, this gate will actually close both sides. So if you come in after hours, all right, you call security on that phone number. They'll answer right away, and you tell them your last name, tell them what stall number you're going to. They'll double check you on the list. They'll open the gate remotely for you, and you go in, and then usually within a minute or two, security will show up to make sure that I am who I said I was, and I went where I said I was going to go, and that I'm supposed to be there. Right, so I have 24/7 access to the boat, but from, I think they close the gates at 7 or 7:30 at night, and they don't open until, I don't know, 7 o'clock the next morning, roughly. You know, and that just keeps anybody from just driving through and whatnot. So we really like that.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good.
And let's talk about, since the proposal's right here, this is some of the stuff that's coming up that they're working on. So they're looking at putting the new fuel canopy. They're changing some of this stuff. There's the boat ramp. And then we have the Stacker boat wash coming in. Dagmars Marina is going to have a boat wash. All these things are coming in. New boat covered areas.
Yeah, that's actually really good. So
Yeah,
they're gonna dredge the boat ramp as well. So actually looking at this is actually a good map. So when we talk about the highway side, there's I-5, and then there's Ross Avenue that runs in the middle. So Dagmars has the freeway side, and they have the boat ramp side over there. Obviously, channel surfing is right here on the boat ramp side, so we're really close to the ramp, which we really like. But yeah, lots of improvements and stuff coming. So for loading and unloading the boat, if you're over on the linear dock, we've got a couple of shortcuts that they put in. I've also heard them talk that they're going to be putting in some storage units so as boaters have places to store stuff. You always have folks like over there with crab pots and shrimp pots and stuff, and I'm sure the storage units are going to be meant to kind of clean some of that up. And it looks like it's pretty close to low tide, which is a good time to do this video. So this is the linear dock. Now obviously at low tide we are on the ground. So when they go to dredge this year, this right here is what they're going to be dredging. But it's just these last couple of spots here at a low tide that kind of come up in the water. But they're going to dredge a lot of this. I don't know how many feet of linear dock they have, but there's two of them. This is the downriver side, and then you have the ramp, and then there's the same amount of dock on the other side, the upriver side.
Actually, this one's bigger than the other one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody know how many dock feet? Linear dock feet?
I did know, I just can't remember.
Yeah, that'd be good. Put that in the comment section below. And the good thing is you can look right down there and you can see Train Bridge 37. Right now it's open. So we usually don't leave the dock unless we know it's open. And if I see it closed, then I'll just hail them on the radio. Channel 13, Bridge 37, they'll answer and say, hey, I was wondering if you could open. Be polite to them. Most of the time they open right away. Otherwise, they'll tell you it's Amtrak or a freight train coming. The freight trains can take upwards of 45 minutes. The Amtrak trains are quick, you know, usually 5 or 10 minutes at the most. And the linear dock's got 30 amp power all up and down it for plugging your boat in for
water,
for shore power charging. And there's fresh water available too. And they put these nice rollers on the end. Sometimes we need those when the river is really running. So I don't know how I get so lucky to film this stuff. And it truly is luck, actually. We just said, hey, it's a nice day. Let's go down and film some stuff to the boat. And here we are. This is a -2 foot tide. It's actually -2.07. This is the low tide for the day. And I did not plan this, but it's cool to look at. There's the black and yellow stripes and the potholes for the front tires of the forklift. You know, if you come in and it's not a super low tide, you know, you do exactly what this guy did right there. You can tie your boat up right there. You can get in your car and you can drive away. And what Dagmars will do is, as soon as the water comes back in, they'll go ahead and they'll put your boat away for you. You don't have to be here for them to stow your boat. So, or you can always tie up at the linear dock, and then you can come back at a later time in the day or the next day and then move the boat over to the ramp when the water comes in. You can do either method. We've done both. Yeah, good illustration of what it looks like at low tide, why they need to dredge this. All right. And then when you want to, you know, take your boat home, do some maintenance on it or go to a lake or something like that, then you do the inverse. Have them launch the boat with the forklift and then tell the office and bring your truck and trailer over and load your boat and drive away. So, but if you're going to use your own trailer, you need a higher than normal tide. Well, it's not higher than normal, but the forklifts get you from right there with those black and yellow. What you could see if you had your own trailer down here, you're not going to use your trailer at this kind of a tide. So generally speaking, you've got to have this first float right here has got to be floating, so that when you bring your trailer in, you want your trailer tires to be on the pavement, not in the silt. So you need probably 4 foot of tide or higher to launch and retrieve with your own trailer down here. The forklifts, like I said, they can launch and retrieve with less water, which may be counterintuitive, but just how it works. Obviously, we're piecing this video together because I was down here a couple days ago and did a walkthrough, and it was only a minus 1 to minus 0.5, I forget. This is a -2. This really shows what happens. I can't wait to see the dredging. Hopefully I get to film some of that. That'll be pretty cool. I don't know how many cubic yards of mud they're going to take out of here, but it's going to be a lot. And you can really see the drop off here. Sitting by the dock of the bay,
On the bottom.
watching the tide roll away. And let's go take a quick walk of the upriver side of the linear dock.
You have power over here and water, just like on the other side.
Yeah, the downriver side is longer. Yeah, I want to say it's like 800 foot total, somewhere around there. Maybe 1,000, I don't know.
Oh, it's doggone it. Oh, he's over on the, oh, he did come over here. That's Jim.
There's a sharp looking boat right there, let me tell you. Love the color of it too. And if any of you guys are yacht club members of any yacht club, double check, make sure we have a recip agreement with you. But Dagmars does have their own yacht club, Dagmars Yacht Club, and they do have a recip dock. And the recip is actually,
I think it's at the very end.
It's the very end of the upriver dock, and the linear dock right here. And I believe the moorage is free for, I don't know, 1 or 2 nights. Have to double check the recip rules for your yacht club. And they do rent this party area out. They don't charge for it, but you do rent it, so that way they reserve it, so there's no conflict.
And you have to be a member, or you have to be here.
Yeah, and you have to be a Dagmars tenant. Pretty nice. They've got outdoor fire pit. It's covered in case it rains. And then plenty of parking. All of this is open for parking in the back lot over there. They don't charge for parking. We've never had a problem finding a spot.
And then you have an ice machine.
Got ice machine up here at the office. Here's a little, not necessarily well-known tip.
Pull this way.
Is they got other vending machines out here, and they have restrooms. They also have the porta potties right down there, but the restrooms are open 24/7, so we always come use the restrooms. And they got some chairs outside you can sit by, and then as people come in to dock, you can score them. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good you think they did. And every time I'm coming and going from Dagmars, obviously wind is pretty important. We get a lot of afternoon wind over here. Morning is usually pretty calm, but I always look up at that flag right there. And then there's that flag all the way down there. And then there's that big one right there. So I always look at all three to give me an idea of which way the wind's going, so I know what I'm going to have to fight. The R27 outboard is a pretty light boat, so the wind pushes it around quite a bit. So inside the office, they always post cost a gallon for gas right there. Mm-hmm. And they have the tides and stuff up there as well, but and then a whole map with all marina and stuff. They're looking to
You're fine.
do a customer lounge in here somewhere. Complimentary coffee and water.
Right.
And there's a good overview. Look here, there's the boat ramp, there's the office. Channel surfing is right here. Here's the freeway side, looking down, give you an idea of the overview of it. The RV storage is actually all back up in here, and the fuel truck is right there. The boat pressure wash station is right in there. There's your bridge 37. Talk up here, this is a shortcut to go out. Don't ever do that. Always run the river all the way down, stay inside the buoys. At low tide, you can actually walk from Jetty Island over to mainland and not get your feet wet. Especially to -2 foot right now, this would all be dry land all the way across. So I never take channel surfing out the shortcut. Supposedly at high tide you can get away with it, but not in my boat. Not worth the risk. There's the forklift drivers waiting on the tide to come in. See the low tide, the dock's up on the ground. One other thing too, I mentioned this, is you see this more during the off season, like November, December time frame. But if you look up there, water comes down the river, and the river flows this way and it goes that direction. So what'll happen is logs and stuff from the fall storms will get caught between land and the dock, and it'll come down, and then it'll get stuck with the dock right there. So that dock's actually designed, there's a hinge up there for it. They'll loosen it and they'll bring it all the way over to here, and it creates an opening so the logs can come in and can get flushed right back out. When they do that, it actually shuts down lanes 1 and 2 because it's open. But during the off season, you know, they can live without the extra 2 lanes. But it's always interesting when they do that during the off season. Definitely say it's time to dredge. Dagmars is also getting a new lift. It's a remote controlled trailer, I guess, probably a better way to say it, but it'll haul 80,000 pounds. And they want to be able to do bigger boats, like 60-foot boats. And that new lift arrives end of July, so that'll be exciting. So if you're interested in having your boat stored over here, they've got limited spots available for the larger boats, you know, 50, 60 footers, but give them a call. They're taking deposits and stuff now. And here's the carts. You really only need these if you're on linear dock, and most of the time we don't need that, because once they haul the boat out, just pull the truck up next to the boat and load and unload that way. That up there, part of their new security system and stuff, they've more than doubled the amount of security cameras they have at Dagmars. Every marina's got theft problems. I would say some are worse than others. You know, you always want to keep stuff on your boat, you know, out of view, you know, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Keep everything locked up. We have security cameras on channel surfing, they're motion activated and stuff, but it's nice that the marina does too. And I know Dagmars is, you know, like I said, more than doubling the amount of cameras they have. They even put one up on their YouTube for live streaming that actually looks at this. It's a good way before you come down to Dagmars to be able to visually see what the ramp looks like. I always look at the tide tables, which helps a lot too. But yeah, I still am bound by the tide. But you know, 1.5 or higher is all I need to launch a retrieve, and that's pretty much most of the time. You know, I mean, obviously not today, because we have that. And what is the tide today? So we are right now, this is a -0.5, and the lowest we'll go is about a -4, which is pretty rare, but we do get some -2s and -3s. So if this is what a -0.5 a foot looks like, you can imagine. I know I've got photographs of a boat right there at the end on a -3 foot tide sitting on the bottom, but they are dredging even the linear dock too. You know, because like I said, they're looking to do the larger boats too, make sure there's enough water under you. Security cameras are actually pretty cool. So the deal with the security cameras is they're tracking cars that come in and out of the facility. They have a gate that actually gets locked, and I think it's 7 or 7:30 at night. The gate closes. You still get 24/7 access to your boat. You'll pull up to the gate. There's a phone number on the gate. You call it. Security will answer. They're here. Security's here 24/7, and they'll ask you your name and your stall number. You tell them that, they'll verify it, they'll open the gate for you, and then usually within a minute or two, I get a visit from security when we come in after hours to make sure I am who I say I am and I went where I said I was going to go. They keep track of all that, so it would make theft after hours pretty difficult, and also because the boats are stored out of the water like that, it would make it even more difficult for somebody to come in by dinghy or by boat to then have to walk through the place after hours to try and steal something. If you were here when those gates are closed, you'll stand out like a sore thumb. You know, and security walks the dock and that kind of stuff. So I feel pretty good there, you know, but Dagmars is no different than others. I mean, you know, they've had minor theft, a downrigger here or there. Somebody, you know, lifted the cowling off of our 9.9 kicker several years ago. That was actually why I bought the security cameras for the boat, and it happened in the middle of the day in broad daylight. I actually think they were trying to steal the whole kicker, and got spooked, and all they got away with was the cowling cover. That cost me a couple $100 to replace, but that was, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. But Dagmars will look through the camera if you have something stolen. They have a theft form up there, and they'll go through the footage and try and help you find out, you know, who is near your boat, or, you know, to identify who may have done it if they have it on footage. So they're very good about that, because obviously if the marina is unsecured and stuff's getting stolen all the time, nobody's going to want to store their boat there. So you got to maintain a level of security to keep things relatively safe and secure. But they're actually looking at putting in a customer lounge somewhere in the office for us to hang out while we're waiting on our boat to get launched. Plenty of parking. All that is available parking, and they don't charge for parking. There's no daily limit or anything like that, which makes it nice. But you know, having the boats out of the water like this, if you want to have your boat bottom painted, you can do that here. Work on your outboards, your engines over here. And for changing your own oil and stuff like that, they have the oil reserves for recycling. You just waste oil and diesel only, no antifreeze, no other water, no gasoline, no solvents. But works good for the lower gear unit oil, and also for the engine oil, where I pour that. See, in the bigger boats, they do backwards because they need the forklift to lift up the heavy end of the boat, which is the stern. The smaller boats, it doesn't matter, so they always lift them up by the bow because it's easier than have to spin the boat around backwards. So if you're interested in Dagmars, they are running a 50/50 promo right now. So tell them at the office that Channel Surfing referred you, and we'll both get half a month off of our rent. And with that, I'm going to close this video because I got gorgeous weather and I got Channel Surfing to clean. Today is cleaning. Wash the boat, and I'm going to go over with the aftercare and the ceramic coating. Get a fresh coat on top of that for the season. So we'll be here for the next couple of hours. With that, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this video, click the link to watch another. And don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.